¿Qué tal, mis cracks? Espero que estén muy, pero muy bien. Hoy les vengo con muy buenas noticias para el Tron and Liberty, chicos. Se vienen cambios épicos, cambios tremendos que, wow, serán lo mejor que le puede pasar al Tron and Liberty actualmente, chicos. Vamos a chequear a ver qué lo que.
What's up, gamers? Welcome to Tico Talks Throne and Liberty. My name's Tico, and I'm the Globalization Design Manager at Amazon Games for Throne and Liberty. And I'm here to give you some updates on the game and a little peek at what's coming soon. I've been spending a ton of time in the game, having a blast with all of you, and now that we just released our Haunted Harvest Halloween update, I'm even more excited. I hope everyone has had a chance to check out the event. The limited time Haunted Labyrinth Dungeon is so fun, and I love seeing all
Ok, le está explicando que espero que nos gustara la mazmorra de Halloween, que por cierto está tremendamente buena.
the clever things people are doing with their outfits to get in the festive mood. Let's talk a bit about how things have been going and what we're planning in the coming months. First, I want to give a huge thank you to the millions of players that have joined us so far on this journey. We wanted to make sure that crossplay was enabled from day one, and it's been awesome to see that investment pay off. This great community has grown so quickly in this first month, and we're just getting started. Of course, any game launch of this magnitude has lots of craziness that comes with it. We've been in constant contact with
Ok, él está explicando ahí que es grandioso como la comunidad va creciendo poco a poco. Y en verdad, Tron and Liberty es un juego que está poco a poco creciendo constantemente. Muchos jugadores se van sumando y eso está bien.
Soft to address player feedback, and we hope you've seen some of that in the last few weeks. So let's talk more about how we're moving forward. Let's start with a topic we all hate and every MMO deals with: bots. The battle against bots is well underway, and I want to tell you a bit about what we're doing to attack bots on multiple.
Uf, hermano, se acabaron los bots, hermano. Ya están poniéndose en eso, ya tú sabes, los jugadores que aprovechan los bots para conseguir recursos y esas cosas y hacerse de lucen fácilmente, van a estar en una situación complicada.
Fronts. First, we're continuing to improve our detection algorithms and are now running those daily to ban bots as quickly as possible.
Diariamente lo están prohibiendo. Tú ves, eso está bueno, porque aquí hay demasiado bot en el juego. No di que en exceso, tú sabes, pero hay una buena cantidad.
Second, we're attacking the areas in which bots can operate and continuing to look for ways to make it difficult for bots to do business. But we want to do that while minimizing the impact to real player experience. We have some plans related to the auction house to impose protections to limit bots' impact there. We will share more on that once we are able, but can't reveal too much detail. That could be used to circumvent our safety.
Ok, él dice que ellos tienen varias estrategias que van a tomar en cuenta y varias cosas que van a hacer, pero que él no lo puede decir porque puede que, ya ustedes saben, le busquen la vuelta y lo solucionen.
Third, we're actively actioning players who engage in RMT behavior. Participating in RMT negatively impacts several.
También el RMT, chico, que es jugadores que venden el luces más barato por fuera del juego, brother. O sea, ya tú sabes.
Aspects of the game, including empowering bot activity, compromising the hard work of players who follow the rules, and more. We will continue to action players.
También va a seguir castigando a los jugadores por RMT también. Muy bueno, muy bueno.
Suspensions and bans.
Ya no le van, le van a bloquear la casa de subasta y van a haber baneo de su cuenta totalmente. Bueno. Oye, me perdí esos anuncios tremendo, hermano.
The next thing I want to talk to you about is world bosses, which are garnering a lot of discussion in the community. So I want to take some time to discuss that. First, let's talk about loot drops. Many of you have been feeling that world bosses have often left
Ahora sí viene lo
because you don't
épico.
feel there's a meaningful chance to acquire gear during these events. To improve this, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to increase the number of portals that appear for peace mode bosses. The portals will be generated based on player counts, but on average, I would expect you to see at least one more portal per boss. This should help spread players out across more fights, giving more opportunities to acquire drops. The second thing is we're introducing a new chest drop that has a chance to be included in your participation reward after the boss dies. This
Ok, chicos, ellos ahora se dieron cuenta que la gente estaba muy descontenta porque iban a los bosses mundiales y no conseguían nada, pero ahora van a poner más portales dependiendo de la cantidad de gente que vayan. Tú ves, eso está perfecto, eso está súper perfecto para el juego, la verdad. Muy bueno de parte de ellos, están escuchando a la comunidad y creo que eso es lo más importante. Y aparte, cuando el jefe muera, te soltará un cofre que te puede dar un objeto épico, chico, épico, o sea, que te puede dar un arma épica del mismo boss, ya tú
Chest
sabes.
will allow you to select one of any of the epic items the boss can drop, which we hope will also
Te permitirá ese cofre, te permitirá obtener una de los objetos épicos que suelte el jefe, ya tú sabes.
give players the agency of choosing a reward that's most relevant to them. All items from this chest will be untradeable, though the non-weapon items can
Ok,
be lifted
no lo va,
if
no
the player
lo.
chooses. Players
Ok, si no son armas, si no son armas, se pueden litografiar. Las armas, usted sabe que no se le puede sacarle litografía, brother. Y no son intercambiables
can
tampoco.
expect both of these changes to be live following our maintenance on October 31st. We've also been paying attention to the impact
Oh, esos cambios serán después del 31 de
that the
octubre.
Eclipse skill is having
Épico.
on Peace Mode bosses occurring within a
Uy, ahora está hablando lo del eclipse, papá. Ojo, ojo.
dungeons. We think that this is disrupting the expected flow of gameplay for individuals attempting to participate in Peace Mode bosses, which are meant to be a PvP-free experience for those players.
Exactamente, pero él está explicando que la zona de paz son zonas libres de PvP, porque hay jugadores que no les gusta el PvP. Y hubo un clan que hizo algo que a la gente no le gustó, a la comunidad no le gustó, no voy a decir el nombre, bro, que utilizó el eclipse de la peor manera posible, hermano, para impedir que los jugadores, o sea, monopolizando todo ello por el eclipse, ¿verdad? Ahora,
So we're making an adjustment so that when Peace Mode bosses spawn in dungeons, there will be an additional new portal outside the dungeon that will take players directly to the safe zone inside the dungeon. This way they can
ok, ahora habrá un portal afuera de la dungeon para que te lleve a donde el boss. Por el eclipse, perfecto. Ahí no hay problema alguno. Ahora la gente va a poder hacer sus voces mundiales tranquilo sin que haya gente molestando. Eso me parece perfecto.
enter the Peace Mode boss as expected without passing through areas that may have turned into a conflict zone due to the Eclipse skill. This change is expected to go live in mid-November. The Eclipse skill itself
Ok, eso del eclipse a mediados de noviembre.
will
De
continue to change the
noviembre.
dungeon into conflict mode as always. Finally, for bosses, there's been talk about how contribution works in relation to the loot drops. Later this week, we will be releasing an article that defines and describes how loot distribution works across all content types. But I want to briefly touch on this specifically for Conflict World bosses. With the recent change locking boss loot to the original owner for 10 minutes, some guilds have been wondering what the value of PvP is in these events. The spirit of the Conflict World boss is that guilds are fighting to control the area to allow their guild to damage the boss and raise their contribution, thus increasing their chances to get better loot. In addition to increasing your own contribution, though, you can also decrease other guilds' contribution. In conflict mode, you do this by killing players from rival guilds, which will reduce that player's contribution by 70% each death. So reducing another guild's contribution increases your relative contribution. So it's a major factor in determining the loot that can drop for you. We are working on introducing some contextual UI indicators of contribution amounts, and we hope that this will help guilds be more strategic about which
Ok, ellos van a enseñar la contribución a la hora de los gremios, que sean la pelea de voces en conflicto, brother. Van a mostrar como un medidor de contribución para que sepan cuánto llevan, tú
opponents
sabes.
to focus their attacks on, to better align group capabilities. To help with queue experiences, we introduced a new option to queue for a random dungeon when using party matchmaking, and we made a change to better match players based on their combat power, to better align group capabilities. To help with completion rates, we increased the damage and HP buff when queuing through matchmaking to be 10%, up from 5%. All of these changes went live on October 17th. Then, in order to improve the rate in which players can acquire their desired gear, We made another change following the Haunted Harvest Halloween update that provides a bonus reward when queuing for random
Ok, él está hablando del cambio que hizo de la nueva, del nuevo emparejamiento.
Dimensional soul shard, and will also have a chance at a larger reward of one-dimensional essence. We hope that these changes have had a meaningful impact to your experience with co-op dungeons. We're going to keep monitoring the data, we're going to keep listening to player feedback, and we'll continue to tweak it.
Él está hablando de los cambios. Él está hablando de los cambios, brother. Otro anuncio más. Esto está lleno de anuncios, man.
All right, let's talk now about some major systems that players may already be familiar with because of their time playing on the Korean service systems, specify both Korean and global. Second, we're introducing a separate rune bag with improved searching capabilities to reduce the burden on your traditional inventory. Rune slot unlocking, it will have at a minimum the following adjustments. Introducing a separate rune bag with improved searching capabilities to reduce the burden on your traditional inventory and storage, while also making it easier to find systems that may be decreased because of this. System, you a new feature that will come in mid-November that will provide and the ability to engage in more structured PvP outside of the competitive large-scale options currently available in the open world events and conquest battles. I'm happy to say this is something we've had on our radar for a while, and we're excited to bring you a new feature that will come in mid-November that will provide on-demand battle feature. I don't want to reveal too much yet, but this will allow players to engage in non-competitive PvP across arenas and conquest battles, with varying numbers of teams and team sizes.
Ok, ellos van a traer más cosas para Pepe, brother.
For more updates about that in the coming weeks. There's been so much great feedback from everyone in the community, both positive comments and suggestions for how to improve the game. Thank you. We're really grateful that you are all this invested in helping us continue to improve the game. And I want to really encourage you to take it. We're just getting started, and this week on a... All right, that brings us to the community question. What we'd really like to know is, what would you like to see changed in Throne and Liberty? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments.
Perfecto, chicos. Estos cambios para Throne and Liberty van a ser épicos. No le abundé más en el final del video, casi terminándose, porque son cosas que él no dejó claras todavía. O sea, hay que esperar a ver qué es lo que se viene y qué tan bueno será para el juego, tú sabes. Pero yo se lo voy a traer en video cualquier cosa, ya ustedes saben. Se me cuidan mis compas, espero que tengan feliz resto del día. Nos chequeamos ahorita, ya saben. Bye, bye.